Can you speak to the standard that Jose holds you and everyone to when you're in the studio?
He definitely holds us to a very, very high standard, whether in the studio or whether on stage, whether we're here at the restaurant, whether we're at another venue. The studio is the chance where we can really refine. Sometimes he is a lot more detailed because he likes it to be a certain way, or he senses something that you could do a little bit better. Maybe it's something that characterizes your voice. Instead of changing it or flipping it upside down, he says, "Okay, well, actually, I'm gonna try to push you in this direction, so that we can refine that sound and basically grow upon it." So it's a lot of detail work. It's very much a learning experience. Every time you come out of the studio, you come out with something new, something new either to work on or some new insights, things that you can do better. It's just a refining process, really. The way that he records, he encourages a lot of emotional connection to the songs that we sing, which for Romances Eternos is a very emotional album. A lot of romance, a lot of different themes, and a lot of those connections, they have to be personal in order to make you feel something, in order to transmit something when you don't have an audience in front of you.
So when you're working on the vocal interpretations of those pieces, do you listen to other recordings of the song to try to come up with your own unique style or see what you can grab? Or do you just go into the studio with a clean slate thinking, okay, I'm going to figure this out, at least my version of this interpretation, in the moment?
That's a great question. I did consult other recordings, not so that I could necessarily take ideas and say, oh, I like this, I'm going to use this, or I like this over here, I'm going to use this. I just wanted to make sure that I had every single word down exactly the way that it was when it was recorded. And from there, I went into it with the mindset of where am I connecting this? What am I connecting this to emotionally? So this part right here is very, very powerful lyric. What can I connect this to? From my experiences, that would maybe emit something really, really connect. And so that's kind of the way that I approach, especially Mia. Vereda Tropical, it was a little bit more of a challenge to connect to on a personal level, just because it's such an old lyric. But there's a lot there, and Jose is very helpful in that regard. Kind of taking all the emotions that we possibly can to make the best emotional recording.
When you're on stage, Pepe, how do you ensure that you are interpreting the music, whether you're playing or whether you're singing, in such a way that the audience will receive the emotions that go along with the song that you're playing?
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee because everybody is different. Everybody connects to something in different ways. Just in the same way that somebody, their favorite singer is Luis Miguel, or another person, their favorite singer is, Jose Alfredo Jimenez. Everybody feels differently. So the only thing that I can do is kind of be as just genuine in my emotions when I sing. And from there, I just kind of leave it all on stage, and that's interpreted the way that it's interpreted. In the same way that you would draw a painting. Some people would connect with it and say, wow, that's beautiful. And some people would say, oh, wow, that's trash. Unfortunately. Right. But it's all subjective, right? So yeah, we just try to connect with it as much as possible, and just give as much as yourself. Get out of your comfort zone and really, really give yourself. And usually that's taken very well.
And then the final topic I wanted to touch is the Christmas tour. This year, the tour has more dates than it ever has, the Christmas tour, 24 dates. Yeah. How are you and your fellow bandmates ensuring that you are prepared for putting on that particular show on 24 occasions in short order?
I think we just kind of have to pace ourselves, make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, you know, physically, like just hydrating. For me, at least, I have to kind of structure like, okay, this is when we're usually going to get to the hotel. I have to be in bed by this time, or I have to wake up by this time. I have to go run in the, you know, and if there's like a gym in the hotel or something. You have to kind of like structure something so that you don't go crazy. Or otherwise, it's like it's just going to be madness. And there's some people that can do that. I I have to structure myself just so I don't go kind of insane. I think the biggest challenge is just kind of taking care of ourselves vocally, because it is a huge task to you know, to be on every single day, when sometimes we don't get a whole lot of sleep. You have to kind of like take advantage of the times that you do have some rest or sleep or water. Pack. In my sombrero case, when we do, for instance, in Texas, I think we're gonna take a bus to different places. So what I do is I'll stockpile some waters in my case, just, you know, kind of like sneak a couple waters here and there. But at some point, I have like a huge stack of waters in one of my bags, and I'll just, from there, I just hydrate as much as possible. Hydrate. I think it's just it's an exercise in interpretation, because you never want to give the exact same performance. You always want to add something to it. You always want to make it a little different. You know, some days you wake up feeling tired, or some days you wake up feeling sad, some days you wake up feeling amazing, and you kind of have to like roll with it. You know, take those emotions and kind of like that's what we have to work with.
¿Qué quieres que el público saque de esta gira navideña? ¿Qué quieres que se lleven ellos a través de sus interpretaciones musicales?
Queremos que el público lleve un orgullo de pertenecer a una cultura que es tan vibrante, que es tan alegre como la cultura mexicana, y que sientan el orgullo de ser mexicanos, porque nuestra música, tenemos obviamente diferentes estilos en la música, no nomás es un estilo, es diferentes estilos de diferentes regiones, pero, o sea, toda esa música es mexicana, 100% mexicana. Y queremos que el público vaya con el pensando que los mexicanos podemos hacer de todo, podemos tocar de todo estilo de música, de todo tipo de música, y pues que sientan esa alegría, que vayan sintiendo alegría en vez de que vayan sintiendo como tristes o no sé, otras emociones. Queremos transmitir esa alegría.